welcome again to another Shittywebcomics Weekly episode brought to you by our Subscribestar backers. Donate on Subscribestar to become a human again and to learn the truth that the they-a-naughty don't want you to know. I don't fucking know. Whatever.
Yeah. Them. The beverage boxes.
But the beverage boxes. The worst kind of box? I don't know.
An absolutely new dog whistle just dropped.
Abject abject juice boxes. But just getting into the episode. Well, aside from that, it's like our Subscribestar, by the way, has our real videos, and they are how you learn the truth that nobody else wants you to know. So if you want to know the truth,
they're trying to shut us down, man. But also, they literally tried to shut us down.
Yeah, that's actually, it's funny, but it's not a joke. They're unironically, they want to shut us down, man, but also not man, because they're not even human. They're not even human fucking beings. But if you want to know the truth, though, become a human again and donate to us on Subscribestar or just in general.
Don't you want to become a human again?
Yeah. If you don't want to become a human, if you want to stay subhuman, an under person, if you will, then don't donate to our Subscribestar. But finally, getting into this, I don't know where these came from specifically. I think they were posted to Facebook originally, but it's the ordinary people versus creative people. And just as an example of how bizarre and confusing. First of all, the art, just right off the bat, we'll get the art out of the way by saying it's okay art, but it looks like it's made with some kind of weird drag and drop. It almost looks like AI art, where it looks like it's things sort of slapped together, like clip art pieces that were all randomly put together. And I don't know. It just creates even as a drawing, as a cartoonish style drawing, it is very uncanny valley, because everyone just has these sort of blank expressions. It's sort of like the in Fight Club with the flight brochures that's showing, like, you know, the oxygen masks coming down, and yet everyone looks calm as Hindu cows because they're just. Again, it's that style, sort of like the WikiHow. WikiHow would actually make for a good episode, because those are meme worthy in the same way. But those are, I think, almost intentionally are funnier. Whereas ordinary people versus creative people is like, what is exactly the point of this? It's to show how creative people think differently. Okay, why show how they think differently? Because they think different. It's okay.
Because they're so much more important than you.
Yes, you fucking ordinary person. Here's ordinary person going like 200 miles an hour in a sports car, wearing sunglasses in a convertible, you know, just looking happy. And then creative people is a guy, I think, or a girl wearing a trilby and just flying. And it's like, what exactly is the comparison here? This is one of the original comics too, so it's almost like self-parody, just how bizarre and confusing the premise. Confusing premise, my favorite porno from the 70s. Confusing premise. It was called Confusing Premise. But here, that's a good example. Here's also, this one's even worse though, more horrifying. Is ordinary people just sees a cat purring, and then creative people sees a cat saying, "It's not that I don't like the dog, but really, what do we need him for?" And it's like, okay, as a creative person hallucinates that their pets are talking to them. That's basically
the pet is seemed to be justifying a dog-free world.
TDD, if you will, total dog death. But going back to the beginning, it's like the implication is that creative people are just delusional, insane, schizophrenic, hallucinating, something like that. Here though, here was the cat one. Speaking of the cat one, here's like some kind of fan art, and again, it's the same dialogue, but it's cropped just right because I'm pretty sure this becomes porn. So people are doing Rule 34 of the ordinary people versus creative people comics. And then for some reason, speaking of which, the very next picture in this collection is a tweet from the Pizza Hut account saying "not first" or "pizza first," where they were doing like the pizza crust would be garlic knots, which were pretty good actually, and you're supposed to like rip them off the pizza and then dunk them. I miss those, but it says "not first" or "pizza first," and then it's just a big string of "this tweet is unavailable, this tweet is unavailable, this tweet is unavailable" over and over again. I assume in, of course, the replies, most likely, of course, from furries. Who else?
Furries.
Which is directly related to the cat that can talk, that creative people can see. Here, though, is one of the perfect examples of creative people being hallucinating and delusional. Is ordinary people is like some lady looking at a turkey in the oven, and then creative people is a different lady wearing glasses, more eyeliner. She has purple hair. She's wearing lipstick. She looks kind of like a goth girl or something, or raver. But she's seeing the turkey being like having a dragon breathe fire onto the turkey in the oven. And again, it's like, so creative people are just hallucinating then. And also they dress up like hipsters.
They're hallucinating, but their hallucinations are not that creative.
No, it's a pretty ordinary. Yeah, that's another condemnation of these comics, is the people who made them, or whoever made them, clearly not that creative. And the premise is just like bland premise. It's like, there was another one that I didn't see, but I remember it was like, creative person sees the cloud as like an animal or something that's alive, of course. It's like, okay, so they're, again, creative people are just delusional, hallucinating people. This is just, it makes creative people look the worst, but also, I remember immediately, the first time we saw this, I think it was, when it first came out, it was like 2016 or 17, and the initial immediate reaction was everyone just making fun of it and being like, what the fuck is this?
Keep in mind also the example they have for the creative people is literally just like hipster in appearance.
And usually a girl. Usually some girl who dresses...
creative is a girl, and an ordinary person is a male.
Non-conforming clothing standard also. What's that all about?
But yeah, no, it's like rainbow-colored hair.
Yeah.
And all this other shit.
Which is, again, it was like, okay, is this supposed... The creatives are also supposed to be the Tumblr teens? Perhaps.
Because that's where we saw it first, or at least that's where I saw it first, is on Tumblr.
Yeah, it got cross-posted immediately.
If it was from Twitter, I don't know.
Here, though, some of the parodies and stuff is ordinary people is just a guy, and then creative people turning into a car from that weird, I think it was an 80s cartoon, because I kind of remember seeing it on TV. But it was the guy who morphed into a car. It's just upsetting and unsettling to see, but a pretty good example of the ordinary. You see, hello, fellow creatives. That's how we should have started the episode. Well, too late now.
This is no ordinary love.
Yes. Here's a good one: is ordinary people, and it's just a picture of a guy riding a lawnmower, and then creative people is Mr. Leahy, like swinging a push mower around, just spinning in circles, and then sort of like slamming into the wall.
Similar to how we were reviewing the CAD rule, which was transforming the Control-Alt-Delete comics into better comics.
Yeah, this is a perfect example. It's the initial setup is your first panel.
It's the power of the internet.
It's
people coming forward. They're coming along. to mock something that is basically kind of unnecessary.
They transform it into something redeemed.
Yeah, because they put in the free work.
Yes. They took the premise, which was creative people can see things that your stupid ordinary person might can't. Yeah.
They just see things different. You see two eyes on the same side of the face? No. It's the low score.
Picasso, look around. Do you see anyone else with two eyes on the same side of their face? No. Anyways. So yeah, and it's also, perfect example of a joke in comic form is 2 panels. There's a very good reason why there are 3 panels or 4 panels. A lot of comics that are 4 panels usually do not need to be, unless a good example of that is Calvin and Hobbes. But even Calvin and Hobbes, Bill Watterson campaigned very hard to be able to do versions of his daily strips that were just 1 panel sometimes just 2. And that was tricky because a lot of the newspaper, the comic sections, the comic strips were designed to be 4 square panels every time so that they could be arranged vertically or horizontally depending on what the actual newspaper specifically wanted to do it. And with Calvin and Hobbes, if he drew it as 1 or 2 panels, it couldn't be arranged that way anymore. Not without giving special space to the comic that would have to be variable with each strip. So that became a whole issue with Bill Watterson, and he basically was able to use his popularity to pull the strings. And I think Calvin and Hobbes got dropped from a lot of newspapers, but to him it was worth it anyways. He was like, well, at least I'm still doing the comic the way I want to.
If they did drop him, then they probably undropped him after a short while.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like one of the most popular comic strips in the world.
I think a lot of them did keep his, though, because a lot of people just like Calvin and Hobbes. If you were managing the funny section, you're like, well, Calvin and Hobbes, you gotta have it. And also, the concession is not too hard to make an exception for. It's like, okay, Calvin and Hobbes has to be horizontal all the time now. It's like, okay, we'll have the Calvin and Hobbes space here. Beetle Bailey can go vertically over here, that kind of stuff. Foxtrot can go over here like this, that kind of thing. Here's another one, is Ordinary People, and it's just a kid playing a video game. And then Creative People, exact same, except he's saying, I want to fuck that non-human character. Hello, fellow creatives. Don't you want to have sex with video game characters? And they're non-human. I wonder what kind of... Oh no, is it Crystal from Star Fox Adventures?
Which Mass Effect game?
Oh,
is it Crystal from fucking...
Oh no,
StarCraft.
You wish from StarCraft. No, it's
StarCraft Adventures or whatever the fuck. Star Fox.
It's
whatever.
Vespine gas dispenser. That's what people want to find.
There's never enough Vespine gas.
What are
the problem with Vespine gas?
The minerals. That's what from StarCraft Adventures, people want to have sex with the minerals.
Not enough pylons. They want to have sex with pylons because there's never enough of those either.
They're especially hot. Anyways, here's a tweet from some guy named John Cullen, but he says Ordinary People versus Creative People. And the Ordinary People is Marge looking at a picture of, I forget which guy it was, from The Simpsons. But, or no, it's Lenny. I think it's Lenny. Because I just noticed she's like doing crochet and it says, we love, and then I can see an L and it's like, oh, that's right, it's Lenny. And then the Creative People, though, is Lenny. He's in the empty house with just a table holding a spoon with a light bulb over his head. The don't tell people I lived like this screenshot. Mm-hmm. So that's, again, that is certainly a more accurate version of Creative People. Again, though, a perfect example of how 2 pictures form a comic. It's officially a comic. It could be a meme,
Example,
whatever
it's
the
a really
fuck.
good example of all kinds of stuff, including just the fact that it's like somebody just came along and edited this. They came along and they used the format and they broke the format and
Yes.
made it funnier by doing so.
Yeah, inherently funny because it is. It's setup and punchline, and clearly the original creator of the ordinary people and creative people clearly had no idea that they were accidentally doing that, where they're setting up every creative people thing is the second one because it's the punchline, but they're not intending it to be funny, but it is because every time the creative people look like they're insane or delusional, which is then, of course, what everyone else's meme version, especially the Leahy swinging the lawnmower around. See, he's being very creative with mowing the lawn. And then here's last one is ordinary people. And it's like the Aztec gods, Quetzalcoatl, Azomatli, whatever. And then creative people is just picture of JoJo, or maybe even the same Aztec gods or something. I don't know. It's a JoJo reference, so I have no fucking clue what's going on. But it's just, but of course, JoJo is for creative people. That's, in a way, that is its own punchline. And the style being identifiable as well. So thank you, fellow creatives, for watching. Support us on Subscribestar. If you're a creative person, donate to us on Subscribestar to become a creative person and to become a human again and to learn the truth. But don't donate to us on Subscribestar or wherever if you don't want to be a fellow creative. If you want to be uncreative, if you want to be an ordinary person, don't donate to us on Subscribestar. I don't know if that's a good selling point for our Subscribestar, but our Subscribestar has lots of really good videos that get into the deep lore of everything that they won't tell you. Juice boxes, beverage boxes. I believe the emoji is called beverage boxes because it's like juice box was too much of a racist dog whistle. Too based, perhaps. Anyways, but thank you for to all of our supporters, and you can join in and become creative and a human. And for everyone else, should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.